Hi, I'm Sandrine and I am the co-founder of Zubias.
Hi, I'm Rizwan and I'm also co-founder of Zubias. And together we are Someone with a Goal.
Hey guys, bring it in and welcome to this episode of the Someone with a Goal podcast today. It's your host Quintin here, and today we have the privilege of sitting down with the extremely inspiring and humble couple, Rizwan and Sandrine Syed, the founders of their multi-million-dollar business, Zubias Threading. Now this, guys, is a true rags to riches story of two individuals who came to Australia and met as broke migrants to now a power couple of both vision and precision, running their multi-million-dollar business of 25 plus franchise stores, and also in the process empowering a community of entrepreneurs to become future business leaders themselves. Now in our sit down we talk about life, business and relationships, to everything in between, including how they first met, the challenges they faced in those early days, and what their goals and visions are for the future, as well as some advice on how you too can master the skill sets needed to grow and build your own business empire. Now also, guys, I want to let you know I've put together a special free PDF for you in the description below, where you can access the top 10 takeaway lessons from today's interview absolutely free, so you can take these notes anywhere you go. So with no further ado, I want to encourage you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this powerful interview with a couple with passion, a couple with purpose, and definitely a couple with a goal. The inspiring story of Zubias Threading, as told by the amazing founders Rizwan and Sandrine Syed. Enjoy.
Rizwan, thanks for being on the show. Sandrine,
Pleasure.
thank you for being on the show. Now guys, I just want to jump straight into it. I am interested into getting to know where you guys are now, but obviously for those who don't know your successes currently as both founders of Zubias Threading, if you can take us back, we'll start with you, Riz, on your story, on your childhood, and really just paint us a picture of your upbringing growing up, and then I'll get to you as well, Sandrine.
So I grew up in India, and I am the lucky last out of 8 kids.
Out of 8.
So I've been blessed with 5 sisters and 2 brothers, and the house was never quiet. So the interesting part about India and being the youngest in India is quite different to what the culture here is in Australia. The main difference is the younger you are, the more orders you got to take from everyone else, and also the more you kind of get dictated what you must and shouldn't do. And it's funny, so that could lead up to including who you marry and what you study to everything else. So I very quickly learned about what I need to get in my life, and everything that I would like to desire to have. I had to deal with everybody above me, so 7 siblings and parents, to actually get what I want. Whether it is a new bike, because everything gets handed over, and I was into BMX, and which nobody else was into, and jumping and doing freestyle with the bikes. It's not a common thing in India. I don't know where I get it from. I got lots of little bits like this that don't match there. So to have my own bike, I had to work the system and people around me. So it was quite an interesting upbringing. Also made me realize how much I appreciate and love human psychology, and appreciate and understand how different people are driven by different motivations, and which way I could communicate effectively to make sense to them. So it was really amazing. So that was basically where I grew up. When I was 23, I was very carefully, calculatively training and educating to actually go, I need to be in another country to be able to be totally independent and make all my decisions by myself, whether it's finance, whether it's what I study, what I do, etc., and who I marry. And so I very quickly realized that I need to figure out how to get out of here and go to a place where I don't have anyone to tell me what to do. So I came to Australia in 2003 in Adelaide to do a master's in information systems with nothing but one suitcase. My parents offered me $2,000 in the bank, one-way ticket to Australia. and they paid 3 months of university fee as an international student.
Okay.
That's almost like nothing because you have to pay
sure.
a whole lot. My course was about, I was paying up to $4,000 every 3 months. So
Wow.
with no job, never worked in a job, always worked in a family-owned business a little bit to help out. So there were a lot of challenges. English is my second, third, fourth, whatever language you want to call it. Because I've got a few languages back from India that I know. So I came into a new culture, new language, totally new country, everything new, the systems are new, and I dove in head first. And I go, yep, this is what I asked for. I have it now. I've got to make it work.
So you put yourself under that pressure. So just to unpack some of that, Riz, obviously being the youngest, you had to become resourceful with what you had. Obviously you wanted the BMX bike.
Yeah.
So you have to obviously
Figure it out.
Then making the decision, what spurred that decision at 23? You mentioned that, okay, I need to leave. Was that something that born upon that decision, or were you very aware of that?
I was always aware of it.
Okay.
It attracted me right from the start when I saw a few of my uncles and cousins who actually live overseas, and the freedom of choices, having more opportunity, more choices, and also freedom to make that decision and that choice always triggered me. So when it came to seeing all my family members and everyone getting married and getting arranged marriage, for me it was, I was thinking, I wouldn't let my mum choose my shirt and to let her choose my partner. That ain't happening. And I had a clear view. It's funny because I remember this very clearly. I was approximately 11 or 12 years old, and I was really close to my mum, and that was one person that was actually has lots to do with my upbringing and to
who you are today. Yep.
So I used to sit with her. She used to listen with an open mind, even though there's a lot of this conversation is not usually common for India, especially when I was growing up. So I was 11 and we were sitting early in the morning. She was reading a newspaper and she was going through a few marriage proposals and things, advertisements in there. Bachelor
kind of setup.
Yeah. And she said to me, oh, look, there's some interesting girls. As a joke, she said, which one would you prefer? And I just turned around to her and said, I don't see myself marrying an Indian. And she goes, why?
Oh, it's customary. Yeah,
it's your Indian. It just makes sense, doesn't it? I said, no, there are a few things I clearly see doesn't match me. In Indian culture, you marry somebody and you're going out to work, and the woman is a homemaker.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
And I said, why would I want that when I can pay somebody to come and clean my house and that's no problem? And after that, I don't have to put up with having kids and responsibility, etc. I see it totally differently. I see if I'm marrying somebody, I see it as a co-pilot, and we're both together running the machine, and no one's leading anybody. We're doing it together. And I struggle to find somebody who thinks like this here in India, and hence I'm not interested in marrying India. And she was just like looking like she couldn't.
She just swore at her or something.
No, she didn't. She was like totally gobsmacked.
Yeah.
She looked at me and go, so that's what you feel and believe? And I said, yeah, that's what I know. That's
me. Yeah.
And she was like, okay.
Wow.
Kind of makes sense, because I gave all the answers to say this is how it is. It's the mindset of this culture that doesn't suit me. If I have to marry here, I'd rather not marry.
Yeah.
I'll just get a maid to do household works, and that's no pressure.
Wow.
And then I said, we can go on a holiday at that point. I learn everything. I'll take you. We go out on a holiday.
Kind of softened everything at the end.
Let's not worry about everything else getting responsibility. And she was laughing.
Oh, beautiful. Now, Sandrine, I just want to tap into your background. What was your upbringing like? And
very different to Riz. I had a very simple childhood. I grew up in a small village by the ocean in France. Okay. And I was the only child. And my dream at the time was to learn English, and so live in an English-speaking country so I can speak English fluently. So at the age of 18, completed my studies, went to uni, and learned how to teach French as a foreign language.
Okay.
So that I can start working in an English-speaking country.
So you went to uni in France?
In France,
yep.
yes. So after I graduated, I had the choice whether I go to England, America, or Australia. And Australia was so much more appealing because of the weather.
Oh wow, of course.
This is how I moved to Australia in 2002.
Oh wow. Did you have family here?
No.
No job lined up? You just said, I'm just going to take the plunge.
Yes.
And then so you moved across in 2002. So how did you go in the teaching field, into that industry?
Yes,
So
I was lucky to find a job in the French language center part-time, and I was also working at Adelaide University part-time, and I enjoyed teaching for a few years. It was a lot of fun. I met amazing people, and I was so I thought teaching was my life.
That was your pathway.
Career, yes. And I never had a business before. I wasn't brought up in a business with business people at all. But then when I was working as a teacher, I had the opportunity to experience something new. When the director of the language center had to go because of visa issues, he had to leave the country. And so when the center was left without management, I had to step up, and that was, I think, what sparked my entrepreneurship.
Gotcha. How old were you around this time, Sandrine?
I was 27.
27.
Yes.
And the opportunity came up, you took it.
I took it, no one else
stepped up,
so I just took the opportunity, and I had to learn everything about business, about accounts, marketing, event. At the time we had a huge festival in Adelaide, French festival, and we were expecting a lot of people, I think about 10,000 guests, and so I was just thrown in
the deep end.
Yes, I had to do it. So that was really amazing. It was a challenging time for me, and when a new director came to manage the place, then I had to go back to teaching, and I found that really boring. So I think that's what made me realize maybe there is something else. Maybe it's not what I want to do.
Yeah. So it kind of leads me into how you both cross paths in your journey. I want to hear from you, Sandrine, on that story, and then we hear from Riz. But yeah, so how did you guys cross paths?
So we met in 2006,
Yep.
And in Adelaide. We were both living in Adelaide, and we got together as a couple.
Yep.
And then a year or so into the relationship, we realized that both of us, we were looking for something else. We were wanting to explore business opportunities, and I still had clients. I was still teaching French, and originally I wanted to open a language center because I did my studies in teaching, and I thought I don't want to move too far away from what I originally studied.
Yeah.
But Riz wasn't into teaching at all, and he had other plans.
I was going to say, Riz, what are you doing in Adelaide at this time? So
I was doing my master's there. So finished my master's, and I managed to work my way in a company that I was working. It was an aged care facility, and I went there through an agency to work, and they said straight away, I was lucky, they picked up and said, you go to the main office, talk to the boss, tell my name, and say, Anne said to hire you. Okay, so I did that, and they hired me. So I worked there. So I worked there throughout the journey of my university, which was absolutely the best job I ever had. Looking after old people, very, very fulfilling and rewarding. So I felt really good. Because of my work over there and the reputation I created, the same company, soon as I finished my degree, gave me an IT job. Because they were releasing a project in IT, paperless. So they said, who better? You've done the course, you've worked here, you understand, and we've got good recommendation, off you go. So I worked there for a year, got the project implemented in several sites. And after that, we decided to move to Perth, as you do.
Of course, just down the road. And how old are you around this time, Riz? What's your age?
We were about 28.
Okay.
We both had just 6 months of gap with each other, so I'm the older one.
So the youngest from the family to the eldest in the relationship.
But yeah, we moved to Perth because we just wanted to experience a new city. Came down, Sandrine went back to the same language centre here. Easy enough. For me, I got an IT job in recruitment, and I thought it would be good fun because I'm getting people into jobs, and I love people, and I love helping people. It's ideal. When I got in there, I quickly realised, no, it's almost nothing about getting people into a job. So it kind of goes 6 months later, no, this is not for me. I moved into another IT role, which was, I learned a lot. It was in the government, it's a lottery vest.
Okay.
So they were implementing another project, which was the latest, I don't know latest now, but it was in 2008, early 2008. They started this scan your own ticket before you had to go give the ticket to the person at the counter.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's all self
electronic,
So, and it's a totally different platform.
Okay.
And amazingly, that machine never sleeps, doesn't need any reboot, it just literally works. So as part of that implementation of that project, really loved it, but not happy again. So I kept quitting jobs. Almost my norm became 6 months, because after 6 months I was bored out of my mind, because I figured out what was at the table, what I meant to do, and what after. So I learned that I needed more problems to solve, and that's my drive. I need to keep having challenges and problems, and once you do a role, you have enough problems, it's done. So I go, well, I need to inherit my own problems. And that means I have to probably do business. And mind you, growing up, my dad always, all his life, was a businessman. And he was everything I didn't want to be, in the sense, because he didn't have a life, and it was a non-stop, relentless chaos. And he's genius in mind, but operations and systems and getting things in a place that it self-corrects itself, and if there's a problem, it flags. Everything was just run there and that. So no life, no family life, nothing. Gotcha. So I just that's definitely what I don't want to do. So no businessman, get a good job, get a good degree, good job, simple life. But that's not how it worked out. I really started all of this thinking that I'll have a great job and a simple life.
Gotcha.
But it wasn't to be. So I chose to be in business, and I'm glad that I've seen everything that could go wrong, in the sense that in terms of operations and things. So I went as far opposite as possible to what you knew. My strength is not in detail.
So in the intricacies of...
That's right, So I get the idea. When I see a business, I can see the end, I can see a bigger picture, and if you give me a project, I will certainly have it done, sometimes in or on time. but definitely try. I'm not the one to delay or push things. I can make it happen. It's like making it happen is my thing. But how polished the outcome is not of my highest interest. I just go, it has to be done. It has to be done. I'll get it done.
Yeah.
But here, my co-pilot is she's absolutely brilliant at details and loves it and polishes the result so well. And so we kind of really had a shadow.
Yes, like a yin and yang.
So whatever your strength is, I'm shadowing that, and I can deliver the other end. Hence, I knew from the start, if I wanted to do this business, I had to get Sandrine on board from the start. And that was an interesting little story that happened. So how I recruited Sandrine, but I'll let you share that.
You can share.
So we were going down. So Sandrine had clients, so she was still delivering some private lessons to French lessons. And on the way, I'm speaking with my sister who's in US, who recently just started this business.
Okay. What year is this?
Roughly 2008.
2008. So
2008.
So this is just a concept at the moment.
That's right.
Yeah.
So no concept.
Oh, not even concept, just a...
So one thing we both agreed on from the start is that we're going to do something that makes a positive difference in this society, because both of us achieved something good from Australia. I achieved freedom.
Yeah, that's the biggest...
Opportunity.
Yep.
And I called it home, and people embraced everything that I could give.
Yeah.
So it really felt at home. So I was grateful. So I wanted to contribute back to the society. Sandrine also received something of a similar sense in her own version from Australia. So we both had that in common as a purpose. We're both quite big on integrity and honesty. So everything that we would do, or anything that we would do or sell, has to be honest.
Yeah. The principles of... Yeah.
So that was super, super important. So we both agreed on that. Now, we pick a business. Yeah. It's a bit like that, isn't it? So Sandrine started with the language center, and we had other ideas. And I was on the phone with my sister as we were driving, and she said, I started this, is a good idea. And I knew, because 5 sisters, all the beauty services that happened throughout the process of my upbringing. So I knew what threading was. I had it done on my hand. Yeah. You know, the first time I learned about threading was when I was sleeping, and my sister sneaked up on me and pulled the hair on my hand. Yes, and it really, really hurt. She did it in a way that actually hurts. I jumped out of bed and started chasing her, and then she showed me later that this is what it's about, this is what she did. So that was my first experience.
So you were the guinea pig of the...
Well, not really guinea pig. She was mucking around. As I'm sleeping, she knew that I want to, waking up with a surprise. So pulled my hair out. And we were just chasing around playing games. Gotcha. But she showed me later, this is how it is. And that sister actually told me, this is a business I'm doing now, and it's great. And I actually know that works. I actually know how it works, etc. It's genuine, ticks all the boxes. So after speaking to my sister in my language, which Sandrine doesn't get, I hung up the phone and I said, excellent, we have a business and we are starting.
Just like that.
And Sandrine turned around and said, I beg your pardon. I said, I have a business idea, that's it. Brilliant, I can see it all working. It will be fantastic. And she goes, would you mind telling me what it is? And I said, oh yeah, it's called threading. I said, I got no idea what you're talking about. And then we reached the spot, and Sandrine was quite upset by the whole, all of a sudden you get this, what's going on. She left for the thing, and I kept starting to kind of go through the process, and I can see things that go, right, Miss Harvey, we need a barber chair, we need a mirror, easy done. We can start from marketing idea, where do we start? We can even do some events and start to test it out.
As you're sitting in the chair, so I'm picturing this right now. So as you're sitting in the chair next to Sandrine is pissed, right?
No, she's gone for the...
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone for the tuition.
Oh, so okay.
We reached there on time, parked the car, and I'm sitting by myself.
And you're visualizing...
And I'm just going,
this is what's happening.
And I'm getting all going, that's it. It's not hard, because we don't have money with us. The bank's not going to lend us anything, but we got enough. We can get a chair, mirror, this, done. Okay. Done. It's there. Yeah. And then when I prove the concept, we can go in a shopping center, and there were multiple stores, and then I can teach it. Easy.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
It's all Zubias brand, it's all done. She come back and I'm grinning and just not happy. So overnight, and I had to show true faith, and I did have true faith. I said to her, look, I love you to bits and I do not wish to do it with you, but I have so much belief in this idea that even if you say no, I'm going to quit my job and I will do this. I will start. You're welcome to join me at this point, but I am simply doing it. So when Sandrine hears this, she knows I'm in business, and over the years she learned that I do what I say. So she's going, okay, well, what is it? So we YouTubed it.
Okay.
and I said to Sandrine, this is what it is. It's easy. And I'm not a perfectionist, so Sandrine's going, I can see a lot of things going wrong.
I'm actually a perfectionist. So to start something, I needed to know everything.
Yeah.
From 0 to 1.
I was going to say, because obviously Riz has cast the vision. He sees it. Yeah. So you as the one who has to, the finer details, and you're kind of working out in your head how the logistics of making this happen. Can you run us through that process? Like, how do you break down a vision that big?
I could see all the obstacles on the way. I could see how it could not be done, or I could only see
just issues and
yes. And he left me with no choice. I just had to do it, and I'm really grateful that he did that, because I've completely changed. The whole journey has completely changed me from being a perfectionist to now accepting that it's never going to be right.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of enjoyment in making mistakes and then learning from the mistakes and improving. So I've come from a long way from that Sandrine that you're describing.
So from Riz's vision, what was and obviously you're in charge of the finer details, what was your first step then to take, okay, Riz, this is the first step in order to make our progress towards the vision? What was your first step? Obviously YouTube, you saw what was happening on YouTube, then what was the next step after that?
So would you like to answer that?
It was about actioning. So first learning about the technique. So we did go to America. We visited Rizwan's sister shop in America. We spent 10 days with her. We learned the technique. So I was a student. Riz wasn't allowed to learn because in the culture as a man, he's not supposed to serve, to learn the technique. He's not supposed to serve the woman. So he was quietly observing what I was
from a
learning,
distance.
From a distance, yes. And so I kind of mastered the technique, and then we came back to Australia, and we were looking for a place to get started. At the time, Riz would say he knew that we would open a lot of shops and we would grow. At the time, I could only cope with one
Just
shop.
one. For sure.
So we looked around, and in Australia, nobody had heard about threading at the time.
This is 2008 still?
2008, yes.
August.
So we would just imagine we would go approach a landlord and say, this is what we're going to do, pull hair with thread.
With a piece of thread.
No one would take us seriously.
Of course.
So we, after a lot of landlords we visited, there was one person who, from Fremantle Market, E-shirt markets in Fremantle, who let us trade on weekends, not even a shop. We were on a pathway.
Just on a walkway on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we had $5,000 at the time to invest in the chairs and a couple of shelves and thread.
Yeah.
And this is how we started.
See, what I love about this already, you guys, is that the imperfect action. You guys didn't go through a business plan or anything like that. Obviously, that's your area that you specialize in, the intricacies of the business, but there was no business plan. It was all imperfect action. You flew over, you saw your sister, came in here. Okay, now talk to me about the rejection and obviously going through trying to get customers and trying to say, hey, look, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what we're doing. Come in, and that whole journey there. What was that like?
So Sandrine has learned the threading technique directly from my sister.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that opportunity, so I can only be on the fence and watch what's going on. So I don't have that skill. So when we come back, we had kind of a roles sorted. So I have to get the customers.
Gotcha.
All right. So the obstacles, I never saw these as obstacles, by the way. It's just I'm sharing how it looks from an outside customer's point of view. It's important for me to know that so I can kind of bypass those things for the customer. So I'm not Caucasian. I don't look that I have anything to do with beauty, obviously. I haven't got makeup and this and that ready to go. A simple average person, and
you're not a woman.
There is no shop behind. And I'm not a female.
You're not a female.
That's right, I'm not a female. And I don't have a beautiful shop behind me. It's just got something on the wall.
Yeah.
It's nothing. There's 2 partitions, something on the wall. So those were the things. If someone would look at it from outside,
from face value,
yes, and something brand new. No one's ever heard of it in Australia. At that point, there was nobody. So actually, still date. I just kind of go, well, it's what my personality is. Growing up in India, it really helped me. Is that throw yourself at it, rock up and say party, and it will come.
Yeah, and they will come. Right.
I got the stuff.
Yeah,
music.
let's go.
They're ready to go. Come on, let's go. So I learned to create the environment. So it was standing there outside, it was freezing cold, and the wind was right in front of the door, so the sea breeze will come in. It would be blowing like a ruthless air conditioning just blowing at you. Sometimes rain. But we were right there, and so standing there, keeping a smile, engaging with customers, looking at what they are about, what their body language, etc., how to approach them. So I can not count how many rejections and sometimes even brutal ones, really ones that will stick.
So this is cold off the street. You're approaching them, or did you have like family members come and like at least?
No, nothing. 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 2 chairs, 2 little IKEA mirrors on the wall, and Sandrine would stand on the side, and I would stand outside with the home printed flyers, black and white. Yeah. Just out of A4 paper and rip them into small pieces.
And our banner was laminated.
Laminated letters, so eyebrow threading in laminated. It was.
So it wasn't Zubias. It was eyebrow threading.
It was Zubias.
Oh, it was Zubias.
But what does Zubias mean? So first we have to introduce what the service is. So we had an eyebrow threading. We had a little YouTube video compilation that I created, put on my laptop it was everything everything that you would cringe to go, oh, okay. But it's not about all of that. It's about the belief and the passion you can deliver to a person, to the right person, and they would say yes. Yeah. So we'll build up a strategy. So I would approach a person, and I would only approach a person where I truly believe their eyebrows can be having a massive outcome by doing this service. So I approach, say, hey, look, here's my flyer. What we're doing is called threading. You might not have heard about it, all okay. But what I can tell you is that you've got fantastic eyebrows and we can make them incredible.
Oh, now that is a sales pitch.
I can promise you that. And I would, if you give me 2 seconds, I would explain to you. You don't come there. I will bring the thread here so you don't feel, you feel that you're in control all the time. So I bring the thread and I explain. I do it a little bit on the hand and I say this is how it works. If you're comfortable, just come in a chair, no obligations. If you step up and walk away, I'm not going to stop you at all. No word from me. So you're in control here. Just give me a chance to explain what it is. If you let me explain what it is, it's totally up to you after that if you do or not. Yeah. Just all I ask is to let me
try for free.
For free. So I do it in the middle, so I'm not touching your eyebrows. I explain, I give them a mirror, I show exactly how it works, and etc. Once they feel it, and then I go, thank you for your time.
That's it.
And I stand there and smile. And they go, well, are you going to do, how is it going to look? It's going to, and I put the thread and I say, if I do this, this is how it's going to look. It's going to come out amazing. And they go, okay, I'm going to do it. You sure? You promise? Yes, don't pay me if you don't not happy. I'm that confident. I know it will work.
Okay.
And all of everything I'm explaining sounds too good to be true. And it is. It is true. And so let me just show you. And at the end, you'll see for yourself.
Kind of just want to back it up a bit, Riz, because you said you couldn't do it. You were just the sales guy. So then how did you...
Good question.
Yeah.
So there's logistic comes my sidekick.
Yeah.
Now I go, well, here we go. Sandrine will do it. Well, you're not doing it? Yes, I'm just explaining it to you. But trust me, you're in safe hands. So Sandrine will start doing it. And when I have a customer in the chair, it's much easier to build the next one.
Gotcha.
So within a week, I managed to get a lineup outside. Now, it's hard to build that lineup because when you have nobody, you're trying to build a cold lead and there's no confidence, people can't see other people. It's like seeing an empty restaurant. You know, you kind of keep walking, oh, nobody's there. Oh, next one's got people, let's go there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I don't know, it's like human psychology. So every time building a lineup, it's working great. I can build more people, but the trouble is, Sandrine is only one person and it's taking time. We've got 2 chairs. I'm going, oh, something's got to get. If these people are asking me, you know, how long and this and that, I go, well, get in the chair, get the first one in. And I go, well, first eyebrow is facing this way, so you can see what you're doing. So I go, I have to jump in and I start doing it.
Okay.
I started to do an eyebrow. Luckily, I didn't mess it up. It was all good. And I go, well, the other one, you have to do it upside down. Now, that's another level of skill. I don't have that. So I go, oh, I'm really sorry. I think I forgot, like, my car ticket, the parking ticket has expired. I need to go and quickly change. I'm really sorry, but Sandrine's going to do the eyebrow. So I quickly run out and hide and watch. As soon as Sandrine starts, guess who's back?
You're back, but you take the next one.
Next one, and I do the worst eyebrow.
Right.
So I kind of start to run out of excuses, and the moment it was quiet, I got daggers from Sandrine because now I've done a job on one eyebrow, and she has to not only do the other eyebrow, but she has to match with the other one.
Okay.
She goes, this ain't flying, man. You got to learn this. And then so I had no choice, and that kind of makes sense because I could work double the pace, and we start to become, within 2 or 3 weeks, we proved to ourselves that yes, we don't need a job. I quit my job straight away when I started the business. So that's it. I'm doing it. I told you. And Sandrine went to quit the job at the language center, but she still kept some private tuitions just in case.
Yeah. Just a security, just in case. Yeah.
Yeah. So soon as we could see that the concept works and we got the reassurance of what we're about and that we can work, the business can work and people can come in. So we rented out another shopping centre in Casual. So people just come in your life. So there's a lady called Jan from Mall Managers. Casual Mall Managers, that's what they were called. Okay. And she came in, she believed in what we did and she said, I'm going to find you a job, find you a place. What's your budget? I said, very, very low. And she said, well, I've got one for 110 a week. Would you take it? And we're both looking at 110. Okay, we'll take it. Where is it? Thornley Square. Okay. Thornley Square. No problem. We'll be there. And so we did that and then it started to fall apart, the shop. So water coming in. Thornley Square is a very rough area, by the way. So it was very entertaining. So we did Monday to Friday in that Thornley Square, and then we would split on Friday, and another person goes to Ishad Markets, does Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're doing well in Ishad Markets, and I'm keeping in touch with the landlord and trying to, or the manager
at Thornley,
at Ishad Markets.
Yep.
And I'm upgrading from a walkway
to the next level
shop. Increase the rent a little bit, build clientele, look for a new opportunity, new shop. I kept moving. We moved about 3-4 shops actually, and we went into prime spot by the end of it. Yeah. So still keep playing there, and progressively the revenue improved because of being in the good exposure as well, more opportunity. So at the end, the Thornley Square was falling apart, but because we were there, another guy called Jason was walking past, and he was from Southlands Boulevard. He looked at Sandrine and he said, "You're doing something incredible, something new. what are you doing here in Tomley Square? Come over there.
Okay.
To Southlands Boulevard in Williton, it's better side. So I said, okay, well, we went and had a look at the customers in the shopping centre. It looks very nice. Talked to a few people. They say, yeah, the centre is very nice. And we talked to Jan again. Jan said, yep, I've got a shop there. No problem. We get you in there. $550 a week. I was like, $550 a week? Oh my goodness. So how are we going to start? We just like panic mode. But he said, right, we got to dive in. We have to do it. Dove in.
Plus to fit out, we had to.
Yeah.
And
so we were becoming a fit out expert. So I did on camera actually, but I did all the electrical.
You do.
I did all the painting.
Yeah.
This was the interior designer.
Yeah.
And she said that goes there, that goes there. Fix that light and that tube lights. You know the fluoro light they have to go. So I took out the fluoro light cover.
Yeah.
Kept the skeleton and I fitted a new light.
Just put a new bulb in there. The tube
stand.
Oh, the whole thing.
So there was a rack and the halogen lights on there. So I screwed that thing onto the fluoro light as the stand is there. So I took the globe, the tubes out, the shell out, but I fixed this thing on there because I asked an electrician. He said, "Yep, no problem. It will be $550." And I said, $550 that I don't have. Thanks, but no thanks.
The crush of Riz gets up there.
So luckily I'm still here. So it's all good. In India, I used to fix all the telephones.
For sure.
So in the house, you have to fix it because you're the youngest one. Fix that. Okay, I don't know. I'll fix it.
So just in terms of scale of time, so from day one, which was 0, so you telling him to come in, to then meeting Jason and getting that, how long is that period? Like, was business booming around this time for you guys, or what's the period?
No, booming is the right word. Business is actually filling enough for what we would get from the jobs.
Yeah.
So it's paying the bills, and sometimes it was a little bit of in, sometimes not. But then again, we're not playing a bigger game. We're not taking risks. We're only taking like 110 on cash. Or what does that mean? Nothing. You know. So we weren't playing. We started to. It comes with confidence. You're going to. I strongly suggest that. I always think a business should create something in return, and then that should be your next card you play.
Gotcha.
Instead of just going, I need a brand new car and a massive office, and then I'll decide what I want to do.
Yeah,
it's kind of
just reinvest back into it,
and
then build the momentum.
That's right. So we had $5,000, and we can take that $5,000 from the business now and say, hang on, that was our money. If you like. But we haven't lost anything. We actually built from that, right? Going to casino with a $50 and coming out with $5,000, it's a bit like that. You got your 50 back. And
extra.
That's right.
And so the 0, so when you start from year 0, so it's, as we're still in 2008 from when you first started. So when you met Jason, was that still 2008 or we're in 2009 now, 10?
It was end of 2008.
Oh, it was the end. Yeah. Oh, so you made a lot of progress from obviously in Fremantle to the massive transition.
So I remember it was just before my birthday, we said to Thornley, we're not doing it. And we said yes to the Southlands Boulevard, and we took 5 days off, and we went down south to Albany the first time, and it was really nice, a little break, and then we come back and we organised everything in the shop, painting, this, that, everything, and then we were trading the following week.
Gotcha.
From there, I think all up from 8th of August 2008 till for another 3.5-4 years, we had worked every day and night because we work in the shop all day. We come back home and do the accounts and rethink about what do customers want? How do we refine the presentation? What should we do? So we're changing it just every single day, improving our speech, improving how we do what
quality,
we do. Everything. Just push, improve the services as well. What else can we add? We started with threading. We need to have people asking for tinting. We have to do tinting, we have to learn new things, etc., etc. So building that, so Southlands Boulevard, Williton store actually gave us enough room to first time ever employ somebody.
Yeah, okay.
Right, now what does that mean? That was all strategic because we go, if we can employ somebody, we can work in a third store. Right, now what do? We had to do that. 9,000 something, just close to 10.
Okay.
And that was enough courage to go, let's go and get another shop. In that time, there was recession.
Okay, yeah.
Lots of empty stores. So we kept hunting and walking around and this and that. So we found a shop in Piccadilly Arcade. I remember the guy's name, Mickey Jensen. So I was dealing with it. So all the people dealing is my area, and Sandrine was doing all the back end. Still kind of is similar.
Yeah.
So I talked to Mickey and talked to a few other people that Mickey was reasonable. So we got to a deal, 7.5 year lease. First time we were putting pen to paper on a lease.
That's official now.
That's right, not even 5 year. I didn't appreciate what the lease actually meant at that time. It's so naive. We have no business degrees between us, nothing about business that we knew at that time, or at least how it works in Australia. So everything was going smooth, and we figured out how much money we need to build it. We found another Jason who would do the Jason and Mickey who would do the shop in Piccadilly. They were carpenters doing shop fitting, so there wasn't a professional thing, so it wasn't too expensive, but the bill was 21,000. We were going, where we get 21 from? Oh, can't do it. So we figured out we can borrow some from our friends and family, which we did. But at the end, we hit the all sorted, and Mickey Jensen said, we need a bank guarantee of 6 months. Well, what's a bank guarantee? So it's a deposit of 6 months that you put in the bank,
in
6
advance.
months of rent in advance. So you get a certificate and give it to us, and you get that only when the lease is finished. We give you the certificate, you give it to the bank, they give you the money back. And I say, I don't have that money.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks, but I don't think it's going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm about to hang up, he said, wait, if I can get you some time to pay it, will you pay it? And just because he said that, I said, yeah. How much time? And he said 6 months. All right. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So I put money in my mouth there. So that little pause and Mickey's idea changed everything, because that was a store we start to really build, and then 3 stores profit coming in gave that momentum to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then once it started to go, it was going. Next thing you know, we were 30 stores.
Wow.
So it just, and then more stuff and more things to learn and etc. It was just magic.
Wow. Love to know from, and talk to us about especially the lessons you learned in those early stages of building a business. I know entrepreneurs out there who are maybe on the ground level currently. What are some of the lessons that, especially at the early times, obviously you sound to me, Riz, as an extrovert. Are you naturally an extrovert?
Yeah.
Yep. And Sandrine, are you introverted, or as you bring it out when required?
I'm totally introverted.
Yeah. So what are some of the skills there for the introverts and extroverts out there at the ground level that they can implement and reflect your success, especially starting off?
Yeah. So to repeat that, for introverts, you said?
Yeah, just for
anybody who's
starting off. Yeah.
You go ahead.
I think find the right people to partner with. We made mistakes in the beginning. We recruited the wrong people, wrong employees or business partners, and that got us into trouble.
Gotcha.
But finding people who have the similar values, similar goals, and find the right mindset. People who aligns with your ethics.
Who see what you see, the bigger picture.
Yes. And myself being an introvert, having Rizwan by my side, we really do complement each other. So his strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa. So yes, I think that's quite important.
That's very important.
For me, it's a little bit slightly different. So I always seen that every person that came into the business was for a right reason, even if it's the wrong person.
Gotcha.
Because they clearly tell you this is not for you, and then you're careful and you learn for the next time. Which is obviously absolutely everything, whether it's accounts, whether it's rostering, whether whatever you have. So every mistake is relevant and important and had to be made, otherwise you know it already.
Yeah.
If you didn't make that mistake, that means you already knew what to do. So mistakes are part of the journey. And I always have to appreciate that. We talk about, like, if somebody's starting a business by themselves, they're looking for a partner. I've always been lucky. From the get-go, I realized that Sandrine is the partner that I need for this business. Otherwise, I've got no chance.
Yeah.
So recognizing that and having that handy,
that's a great asset, right?
That's really good for me. Yeah. I did a presentation in the Morning Star meetup, and you remember I was saying that business or life, choose very carefully your partner, because that's going to really define to what extent you're going to live your life.
It's true.
How much you're going to unpack about your abilities. So I think the right partner, I'm really grateful and lucky. And it's not lucky because kind of I always knew that I'm looking for a co-pilot. I'm looking for somebody.
Or you're attracting that person to each other to you.
That's right. So when I met Sandrine and I learned a little bit about her, I was kind of in my mind going, yep, these are the qualities. And how I went about it is that people think about a long list of what I want in my partner, and I had a very short list of what I don't want in my partner.
Perfect.
And it's kind of very easy. And then it leaves the whole world open to you, because what you can't live with is very little. Somebody who's organized. If someone's not organized, oh my goodness, that ain't flying with me. I can done.
I love that.
Someone
I love
clean
that.
and tidy. So all of those things, and someone with an ambition and mission and a passion for something. So we're looking for those things, and someone's got that. Great, I can work the rest out. So it was that system that I followed helped me find the right job or right place as a business, and a right partner. But for me, why the business actually happened is because the fact that you can see it from the start, and if you have to spend time on that to think in your head, see all the boxes. You're not going to get everything right. You're going to make assumptions that come not to be true at the end. That's fine, but have that very clear vision, and you're going to be absolutely locked in for that. So that kind of tells the world and the universe, that's where I'm going.
That's what's happening.
That's it. Figure it out. Tell me what to do. So the part just happens. People will come into your way and give you that little lift when you get stuck up, and it's just funny how it happened over and over and over. So resilience is next, and it's like you're gonna fall, and that doesn't mean it's over. Whoever gives up at that point means finished. Well, they're not successful. You don't want to hear about the story. You will never get to hear about their story because they didn't persevere and keep going.
Could you give us an example of that, Riz? Like, obviously, did you ever think, man, I actually want to give up? Like, this came out of nowhere. The 21,000 that you had to, obviously, that was like, where the hell am I going to get that from? Like, was there ever a time where you semi-doubted yourself? Could you share
from the beginning, absolutely not. I was naive. It was, I don't know, I couldn't even define. I was too naive to actually even
know.
Appreciate it. So, having business degree, maybe they explain about how the risk of the business, all of that. I had none of that. I was just guessing, planning, looking, anticipating, and just like I did in the family, I was just kind of working out. How do I go about that? The failure wasn't far in my mind. It wasn't until lately the real market change happened, shift, and it's not just me.
It's everyone.
Plenty of businesses felt it. That was a real first time, because when you're running a big machine like a train, train is never going to stop like a motorbike. No. Right? No. Motorbike, you want to stop, boom, you hit the brake, you're there faster than a car. It will stop. A train will hit a brake almost like
kilometers away.
That's right, and it's a gradual, but it's a momentum that a big mass has. So big business momentum, if something has to change, it takes a long time. So when we had this recession, absolutely recession, 3.5 years ago, when Perth economy just took a dive, lots of things came to light. We go, whoa, this is a big machine. We have a payroll over 100k every fortnight. We're paying.
Where's it coming from?
What's going to happen, right? So all of a sudden, my view was about the most important thing that I care about is the people in my business. I feel responsible for them. Both of us do. So our thoughts where we have to make sure that this is what we're working for. It's what it is, and we have to be strong for everybody else. So that was absolutely incredible. I loved every part of it because it kicked us in our guts. So we learned so much about business that we didn't even know from the start. And the more we start to open that can of worms, we got a mentor, and that was absolutely brilliant to have that. We start to learn and appreciate the business and the integrity, what's the word? Like delicacy of the parts of the business that you got to know. So English, not being my first language, comes out sometimes.
I hear you as well.
I think everything that happens for a reason, even if you feel a business could not succeed and fail, it actually prepares you possibly for the next chapter, which could be even bigger business. So I never see it as a loss. When the pressure comes, you got to stand up. Stand up, own up, man up. You got to go to the front of the house and take it all
and just to take ownership of that.
Take it all on.
Perfect. Just on emphasize on the relationships that you guys have blossomed now with. Has this business brought you stronger together? Like, how do you guys make it work? I'll ask you, Sandrine, in terms of, just carrying the vision, the bigger vision. You went from 0 to 30 stores. So how did you guys? You guys are seeing each other day and night. So how do you guys make it work?
I think we enjoy working with each other. We managed to have different areas of responsibilities, and yes, we do have conflicts sometimes, and we disagree on things just like everybody else. But both of us, we always respect. We have a clear vision for the business, and so we always think of the benefits for the business. So if there is a question, if there is a conflict, it's not about who is right or who is wrong. It's about what's the best for the business, so what's the best for the team. So, and it's been a long journey together, and it's wonderful. Rizwan is my best friend, and it's great to be able to build this flexibility to have the life that we enjoy.
Oh, beautiful. What about you, Riz? How important is for entrepreneurs out there who are couples or who are in a family business is to make sure that you have, I suppose, attract the right partner, life partner, like you said, a business partner in business and in life. And just if you can tap on that a little bit more, like what should be some of the characteristics that to grow a business as you grow each other as well.
For me, I think I start with myself, and I always had my ego in check. I'm the first one to say I'm not perfect, I'll make mistakes, and that means I allow everyone else to make mistakes. I might have a brilliant idea to get this haircut today, but maybe after 5 years I look at it and go, what was I thinking? And that's going to happen. So same with a solution to a problem today that I feel is the right fit. So after some time I might have to eat my words. So you've got to be really aware of that. So with that mindset, I actually knew very carefully where I excel and which areas that I'm not great at. And I knew that I'm not great at details. I am good with people, but I can't sit in the office at a desk and punch out a lot of hard work at the desk for a long time. I'm so high energy that I have to get out and get up and meet people and do people. I can do that all day. That energizes me, and that's actually brilliant and useful for the business. But the work actually from meetings and greetings, there'll be a pile of work that will come up, and I'm not strong at that. So I have to accept it, and I have to appreciate somebody who does it and the time they spend. So it's all about being grateful and appreciative of everybody who's contributing, and being aware of what your strengths and weaknesses are. It will help you observe other people and their strength and weakness, and that you collaborate, and then you will start to see things, who is your right partner and why. Sometimes it's strategic, business-wise. So both of us might be bigger vision, for example.
Yeah.
And then we're coming together about a business and we're having a chat. And you might have a great network behind you, for instance. So that's a strategic business alliance. Doesn't mean that because we don't have a yin and yang, but we're both similar energy, similar idea. But you're bringing part to the business, which is crucial for taking it next level.
Yeah.
Good partnership. And the business thrives, it will have a growing problems. Good problems to have.
Yeah.
Find a solution then. Have the problem first.
True. Love that. Now, Riz, in terms of going from 0 to 30, and I want to tap into the franchising aspect of your business. How did you go? Did you know franchising was the business plan or the business structure that you wanted to go down?
No.
No.
Simply no. What I truly believe still do is that if you want to grow and do more than what you physically can do in 24 hours, you would need the help of another person or a machine. Okay, that stays true.
Yeah.
So I knew when I was growing, I needed to get a bigger, better team. So I was growing that. And being people appreciative person and liking to know people, get to know people, I banked in relationship with people and build that. And I grew them, I invested in them. Some I even sat down and taught them how to speak English. Because they're good at what they do, but they don't know how to greet a customer. So I sit down and pronunciation, not that my English might be classified as, certified English, but hey, it works and that's good enough. So let's go. So I was helping people with that, and that really helps to build the business on people, not with machines, because I don't have the AI. So I knew this is what's needed, that's what needs to do. When those people grew in their roles, I kept understanding their needs. So some people who pushed it to the level, I go, right, you go to the next level, which is leading the salon and manage the place. And then when they excel at that and they go, well, I want to own the salon, that's how the franchising concept came in. I go, well, I'm to the point now, I can run this whole place, can I own it? I own it. So how does that mean? Because you still want to be, I still want to be part of Zubias, you mean franchise. Okay, right, leave it with me, I'll figure it out. Because you know what it is that people have their own thing to do in their life. You got to respect and appreciate that, same as you. So when I see somebody's invested their life, energy, time with me and growing this business and worked hard with me, then if the next thing for them is to own their own business, I'd rather do it in my business.
Correct. So internship through ownership.
That's right. Every single franchisee came through the same ranks and the same process, and they say, I would like to run it. And then we went about doing a franchise to say, okay, fine, this is how we do it, and so on. So, but that wasn't part of the straight up plan. The plan was to grow the business, which we did, and we needed more team, which we did. That made sense,
So the bigger picture and your vision now, Sandrine, is this what you pictured as to where we are now, 2020, from 2008? Is this the end result that you're pitching, or are you picturing bigger things?
Absolutely not. I was not able to see the bigger picture. And no, I would have never dreamt to have so many stores and it's amazing.
Oh, congratulations. Well, guys, I just want to know one thing before I got one more question, but what's next now, guys?
Next is... I suppose it's just like my haircut, it's going to keep changing, isn't it? So we've learned a lot about the retail market, the disruption, what people call. What has happened really is the business model has changed. As simple as that. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Now, if you need an electrician for your place, okay, and you don't know any friends or anybody, in your area, at your place, you need an electrician, what would you do?
First one I call probably Google, I'd say. Google search and see who's around.
Yeah, and if you wish somebody in the neighborhood, would you consider Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah. Post out, you see that all the time. Every suburb has got a Facebook network group as well,
correct.
Etc., etc. Rewind 10 years ago, what would you do?
Rewind 10 years ago in terms of if I needed an electrician. I would see who's a local tradie in the area.
Yellow Pages.
Yeah, for sure. Yellow Pages.
Or companies you know that you saw a van off, or you have in your phone.
A flyer or something in the mail or something. Yeah.
So now, if you think about it, the business model for that, if you imagine a very tall building with a sign saying GE Electricals, General Electricals, there used to be, so big building, very reputed brand, and people know about that, and all the knowledge of the company, the big managers and the warehouse holding at the top, and from the top level to the next manager level to the and the bottom level is all people who are actual electricians was doing it, but the building is holding information in that vertical fashion. So the bigger the building, the bigger the brand, the more trust you have, and then you will hire them because of that. When it fits your budget. That was the old strategy of how people bought things. The bigger the brand, that's why you have to be on TV, you have to be on the radio, you have to, etc., newspaper, so on, magazine. Now, if you yourself is looking for an electrician on Google, not white pages, or you'd consider putting on Facebook or that gives so much clarity on how people operate now. So no longer that vertical, but
it's gone diverse.
It's lateral. Now people are just connecting with each other thanks to social media and the platforms. It's now available, and the world is connected, not just Australia. If you want fashion from somewhere else, boom, done. Right. So that gave birth to entrepreneurs. Right. Because say if you want to start a beauty business, you don't even need a website. Open an Instagram account. What you do need to be good at is only two things: really, really good at marketing, understanding that, and really knowing your stuff.
Know your product and marketing it.
How many 20 years old or 21 years old successful business that only have Instagram account, no website, nothing. Nothing, right? So that never existed.
So it's just the disruption of the entrepreneurs that caused this whole...
So the whole model of the business model is just shattered. Now it's not a linear, it's a lateral model. So we got to understand and appreciate that. So this is why we changed the business model, and we've reduced from 30 stores to 22 stores very strategically, and we changed how we work. Before we were Arnold Schwarzenegger, imagine. So everything was bulky, muscular, and not so agile. Now we've converted the whole business into Bruce Lee. So it just market us, we can respond straight away. So agility is built into our system. That's what we worked on, that's what we learned. And now our business has future proofing. So it actually can go forward. Now, with that in mind, when we understand the business model and the fashion that future is going to be, there's so much opportunity just coming out at us. So I help other businesses in business. We put together actually. We do business mentoring. We do business mentoring for people in business and help them get more of what they want. Simple as that. Because we've done inside out, we've done several stores, multiple geolocations with lots of team members. So systems, whether it's team management, whether it is security and optics, we've done it for so long that we have well-oiled machine running right now. So that allows us free time to help people in any area that they are struggling with. Any beginner state business who, as a starter, who would like to get some insight on how to go about and what to do. We are also working on those now. And we're working on concepts called Beautypreneur, where you come down and you do a little course with us, which will give you everything you need to know to how to become a beautician, whether you work from home, mobile, literally being online, in a store, or whatever your configuration. Will give you all the things that you need, because one thing is for sure is that there will be more and more entrepreneurs in the future, and our objective is to help people, and we can live that dream in the future proofing with the new model. So that's one of our concept, business model, business mentoring, helping other businesses even at the startup level. And then there are a lot of businesses where we are actually collaborating who are coming to us with a concept. They've actually worked on it, they've built the business, they have been working on it for some time, and they're just not getting the traction.
Yeah. So you guide them through the whole journey, the process as well.
So we're partnering with them.
Yeah.
And it's all mostly like a money where the mouth is. So if we believe in that business and we believe in that person, then we go, right, we're going to come in, say, based on how we work it out, it will be a minimum percentage. And we said that will be our share in the business. What we'll do for you is that we'll meet ever so often, and we're going to do a strategic plan for you. And we're going to lay out a month's plan.
Gotcha.
And set of actions, marketing-wise, business-wise, process-wise, and those processes and steps when you take, that will be the outcome at the end of the month.
Gotcha.
We sit again.
So it's like an angel investor. Kind of, you see someone you see the potential in them, but they just need a little nudge. You come in there, add your expertise, and grow and scale the business.
That's to help them out.
Yeah.
And it's a very personal, like it's directly us dealing with us. So this is going to already a lot of people knocking on our door, and we are already working with 2 or 3 businesses already. This is kind of, I'm talking like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And already we have 3 people. We're running business. One of them has got 2 years in the business and got some sales.
Yeah.
But we see it's just like, come on, we can build this up. There's so much opportunity. You do know that these steps, if you take, boom, done, it's going to explode. So it's a lot of interesting opportunities, and we're going to keep going. Keep going. It's not about how much success, it's just how much can we make impact in the world.
Perfect. What about you, Sandrine? Obviously you're going along with Riz. What's the bigger picture for you, and where are things in the...
I absolutely love making an impact on people, and I find it so rewarding to work with people who have a purpose, who are driven to do something. They might not know how to do it, and this is where we can help with our experience and expertise. So it's a really exciting and rewarding journey for us as well.
Perfect. Well, what we're going to do now, guys, is just going to go into a game. Now, the game is very, very simple. I know I'm going to drop it in like that. Yeah. But the game is very simple. I'm going to throw you one word. Yeah. And the aim of the game is you throw back a word or a phrase of what this word means to you. Now, I'll ask you individually the same word. Yeah. And I'll start with you, Sandrine, then I'll go to you, Riz. So the first word is passion.
Purpose.
Driver.
Okay, perfect. The only thing is you can't repeat the same word between you guys. Okay, success.
Happiness.
Journey.
Mentorship.
Coaching.
And learning.
Let's go with struggles.
Enjoyment.
I was going to say awesome. More pain, more gain. I love it.
Yeah, you love struggles. Perfect. Family.
Happiness.
Love.
And the final word, ready? Legacy.
Pride.
Impact.
Awesome. Riz, thank you so much for being on the show. Sandrine,
thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the show. Guys, that is it. Now, I'm going to put Sandrine and Riz's information on the description below. But guys, these are definitely leaders that you need to pay attention to. Definitely come from rags to riches. Now, I encourage you to get in contact with them. All the information will be in the description below. But again, if you are someone with passion, someone with purpose, and someone with a goal, then we need to get to know each other. We'll see you next time.